We go.
But,
that's it. We are live. Today is the 4th of June, Monday the 4th of June, 2018. Hello, guys.
Hello.
Wow, what an amazing few hangouts we had at the end of last week.
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah.
Epic.
I know, that's why we've come on our own today, because we thought we'll just have a mellow cup of tea, biscuit evening, and a bit of a chit chat.
Yeah,
and
chill.
In a minute, I'm going to put the chat room up. Astrid would like to see the chat room, and today we'll make the people in the chat room part of the hangout. I'm just saying hello to a few people, and I'll present my screen. That was epic, wasn't it? Really, two really amazing hangouts.
It certainly was. When you look at, you know, the lineup of people that were joining. You know, it's like, wow. Yeah, it was good. It was fun. You know, and some good, nice information as usual. So
yeah. Oh, sorry, Martin.
That's it. The chat room's up now on the screen.
I've got my biscuit.
Yeah, where's my cup of tea, Patricia? And I don't take sugar.
I don't know. It's still in kettle as far as I'm aware.
Come on, bring me my cup of tea down here.
Yeah, all that hard work paid off, Karen, because I know there was a lot of work involved in that. You know, getting everybody together. And do you know what was the most brilliant part of it? Is these people actually wanted to come on.
Yeah, there was a few people, because we were on Friday, we were overrunning a bit. So, you know, I missed a slot with a few people. So that was a bit, you know, probably about another 5-8 people should have been added. And also, obviously, we invited John the Morgal, and I don't know, he didn't turn up. But yeah, I mean, when we first started, to have Mr. Fry, Ditra, Crow77 and Hori on there, as well as the other people, it was quite amazing, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. Yeah. Where's Astral? It's muted. Come on, Astral.
I'm here. I'm just making myself a cup of tea.
Oh, all right. I'll let you off then.
Right, you can bring me the cup of tea then, Astral.
Yeah, it was.
I think
good.
it'll be a bit cold.
By the time it gets there, yeah. Oh, and I went to the beach yesterday with my son. That was a nice, relaxing day, although it's kind of hectic with him. But yeah, I had fun. It's been really, really hot here. We was talking about it again, Karen, weren't we?
Yes, I just think it's really strange, because I've been to Denmark myself. I already said this to you, Astral. To fly to Denmark takes an hour and a half for me in the UK. And to fly to Mallorca, Ibiza, which is just at the bottom of Spain, what do you call them? What are they called? The such and such islands. Oh, I can't think of it.
Balearic.
Yeah, that's it. It takes an hour and a half. So you live as far away from me as the bottom of Spain, and yet you're hotter than us.
Yeah, sweet.
So that's quite amazing, really. I just think there's hot places and cold places. I already said to you that I had a friend that lived in France, and they live more sort of just before where the mountains go into Spain. So not the Alp side into France. What's the bottom? Yeah, I suppose it's Spain, but not the right hand side, the left hand side. And he said in the summer they get 40, 50, you know, up to about 40 odd degrees, and in the winter it's really cold. Well, sounds a bit like you then, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's odd. It is. I mean, even when I moved to Sweden, the summers in Sweden are actually very, very warm, believe it or not, you know, but the winters are long and cold and full of snow and dark. So there's a vast contrast, or stark contrast. But yeah, the summers. What was I saying? Brain fart then.
Just asking you then, from the other day then, what was your favourite part of the ladies' night? Patricia, asking you.
all of it really. Just the fact that the conversation flows, you know, everyone cares about each other, you know, they don't disrespect people. You know, everybody, we're all in it together at the end of the day. I can't really pinpoint one sort of area. It's just nice to have so many different women on. You know, we women need to stick together a bit more, I think. Without excluding men, obviously, because Astral and that, was it John, somebody or other?
John Smith.
John Smith, that's it, yeah. You know, but it's really nice. I like it.
Just to let everybody know in the chat room that on Thursday we're having a hangout with Mr. John Smith, Global Lies, and Roxanne. So that's happening on Thursday. So that's good, isn't it? And I want to hear a bit more about their trip to London and the fact they were out with banners and out in front of the Houses of Parliament and stuff like that.
Yeah, they've been doing a good bit of activism there. So well done, Roxanne, if she listens to this. Yeah, it's that kind of thing that we need, really. You know.
What was your favourite part about Ladies' Night, Astral?
Oh, it's so varied, you know. That's what I enjoy about it, the variety and, you know, different topics. I can't pinpoint anything in particular. I can't. I mean, it's just there's just so many different things that people talk about, you know, in the course of a few hours, as you know. Yeah, it's nice to see people get together, like Patricia says, you know, it's kind of like this nice community, and it's good to see so many women together, you know, that are having the same, you know, the same subjects to, you know, pursue, and the same topics to go after, the same research. We're all into flat Earth together, aren't we, in a sense? Plus the other loose things that go along with it.
So I was just changing the chat room around a bit, but then I realised that it affects it on the Hangout because they could see me messing around on the Hangout. I was getting ready to put get my little hearts and my little hugs and my little whatever it is ready. What about Patricia? What was it you most enjoyed about Friday? I mean, that went on for 6 hours.
Well, it wasn't the time. I went. No, it's fine. I mean, it flies by though, doesn't it? You know, you look at clocking up, flipping out. You've been on here like 6 hours. I don't know. It's like again with the ladies' night. It's just lovely to see people talking, you know, and respecting each other, and just so much information. There's so many wonderful people out there that, you know, it's nice when all these people come together, you know, and like I said earlier, the hard work that you put into it, you know, talking to people, asking them to come on, that they wanted to come on is, you know, not many people see that side of it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do try with everybody. I'm not just going, hey, can I book you? I try and keep a friendship with these people because obviously, you know, well, you know, don't you? And I don't mean to sound like, no, but the after hangout with Russian Vids went on to it went on till about 9 o'clock in the morning. So I think Russian Vids must have been there for about 10, 11 hours. But I fell asleep once and they said, what's that noise? And I went, oh, because I was snoring. Not loudly, not that badly. But the second time I fell asleep, I thought, oh no. I asked Bling Bling was there, and I asked asked a few people. They said I didn't snore, thank goodness. I just went silent. I just nodded off at 8, 9 o'clock in the morning. I just couldn't stay awake anymore. But I'd ended up having a really long, nice chat with Russian Vids, so that was great. What was your favourite part then, Astral?
Well, I said, about Friday.
Yeah.
There was just so much again. I mean, Martin Liedtke, Russian and Rich, and I mean it was just like interesting and fun, and you know as well the good diversions of topics. But from what I get from it anyway is this, that right, all of us flat earthers, I mean the entire flat earth community, it doesn't matter after however many years of research we've been doing this in all aspects of flat earth, how many of us have gone back? No one. It's because we have a foundation, and the foundation we have is getting even bigger and wider and more stable, because these truthers are, you know, coming onto Sun and Moon, like the guests that we've had over the last year, Karen, you know, people that are in the community otherwise.
It's because of all these people coming on that we have Sun and Moon, isn't it, really?
Yeah, but we have
Can I just say that Riddle Me has asked me, like, where's Russian Vid gone and is he on another channel? He's kind of at the moment semi-retired, right? But he's putting stuff on, what is it, 158? Is it 158.net?
No, 153.net, I believe.
Yeah, so he's on 153.net, because there he's not challenged, there he's not controlled, there he can say what he likes. So that's for Riddle Me. So he is around, but you know, I suppose his life's changed a little bit now. He hasn't got this channel, and that basically, yeah, he's what do you call it?
He's on Vinny's channel.
Yeah, Vinny plays a lot of him. Vinny TV plays his older stuff. Confusing, lol. Well, the reason he's on there is that he wants to say what he wants to say. He doesn't want to be censored like he is. So, oh, Russian Vids got totally shut down yesterday on non. What's that? I don't know what that one is. Have you heard of that one, Astral? Can you see it on the screen?
No, I don't know what that is. But yeah, he gets shut down all the time, doesn't he?
Yeah. Well, I was amazed, but it was a little bit more stressful for me because obviously people are talking to me and I'm trying to get them on, and they're going, well, I tried the link and I couldn't get on. And, you know, it was a half an hour jobby for people, but a lot of people stayed on, and, you know, I couldn't just like get off, could I? So, but it doesn't matter. We had a brilliant time. It was an amazing party. Was it just amazing to get everybody together? It wasn't quite a party, was it? No. It was a very deep, flat earth conversation we had on Friday.
Yeah, it was. Definitely. Sometimes, anyway. And people drift in and in and out of their little specialities and what have you. But, I mean, that's just the brilliant thing about having so many good guests on.
Yeah, someone put a comment on today. Well, why was there a man on the panel if it was ladies' night? It was a comment on the channel, and I said because Astral's part of Sun and Moon. Yeah, you had, what was it? I think we were 10 a lot of the time, so there was 9 ladies, Astral.
Ooh.
Yeah. There was a few more things. We're not going to have the longest hangout today. Just I'm still really tired. Just to explain, I'll explain to everybody in the chat room that tomorrow afternoon, I think it's starting about 2:00. We've got Marie Wheatley coming on. Now she is friends also with Brian Forrester, and she has found some elongated skulls in Glastonbury. So it's not just Robert Forrester's found them in South America, they're here in the UK. So she's also very, Astral, explain a little bit about her, because you've watched masses of her, haven't you?
Yeah, she knows quite a lot about, well, she's an archaeologist, and these long barrows and what have you around Silbury Hill and around your neck of the woods, Karen. She knows a fair bit about your area, so it'd be interesting to hear, you know, what she has to say. I'll have to brush up on her again before she comes.
Yeah. And just to let people know who are in the UK, Brian Forrester is coming to the UK. He's coming in September. He's staying with Marie Wheatley, and he's going to Silbury Hill because obviously he knows it's a pyramid. And then the lovely John Cowrie, who has been on our channel, he's going to go. He wants to meet them there. And John Cowrie is coming on the hangout tomorrow. So that's great, isn't it? And maybe Costa, he lives in Bristol. So hopefully I'll get to meet Costa, Brian Forrester, Marie Wheatley, and John Cowrie. So that'll be really interesting. That's in, obviously I'll film it. That's in September. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, it could be good.
Yeah, and then on Thursday, we've got John Smith, Global Live with Roxanne. And then on Friday, about 8:30, we've got Paul on the plane. So I'm looking forward to that as well. And then, a week Monday, Mr. Crow 777 is coming on with Ditra. And then at the end of the week, we've got Mr. Thrive and Survive on with us. So that's brilliant. They're already booked in. And also on Tuesday next week, we've got Paul doing Healing Hands. So we've got nearly the next 2 weeks sorted out now with guests and people to talk to.
And some good guests too, definitely. All of them.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to that. We wanted to talk a little bit about other things as well, didn't we? About this coming together. We've got to stick together and come together as a people. Patricia said she'd like to talk about this.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing I've noticed a lot recently is, we've got certain people that just don't seem to show respect. And if that's the case, how are we ever going to get together fully if we don't even know the main principles of getting along? I just wanted to say as well, slightly digressing, but what an amazing year as well. How things have changed, from the first hangout to today. It's just been, wow. We've had odd upsets and stuff, but, forget about that. Think about all the positives. And, I don't know, just be responsible if you do something wrong. I know you can't always walk on eggshells and forget that, you might upset someone by saying something, but just have a general respect, for people's opinions, their beliefs or whatever, and just come together. I know quite a lot of people are that way inclined, but you get the odd few, and it's like a division again, isn't it? We're hoping to bring everybody together eventually, but I know, thinking about divisions, just thinking about trolls and shills. I call them trills, because I always get the words mixed up anyway. And it's like birdseed. I don't know if you remember birdseed, called trill, manufacturers, and you just, for budgies, indoor birds and stuff. I know I'm waffling a bit here, but I'm trying to get to a point. Bear with me.
Go for it, Patricia.
I remember it, Patricia. You make me laugh there, trill.
Is you'd give your budgie the seed, and it'd pick out the best bit, and it'd throw away the outer bit. I can't remember what it's called, and you'd end up picking it up, and you'd be like, why do I have to keep picking this up? Can't you eat that bit as well? And that is, they always say, I hate quoting Bible stuff, but getting the chaff from the wheat, or is it something like that anyway? And that's what we have to do to a point. Understand that these people aren't really gonna, I don't want to say fit in, but they have to come to their own conclusion in their own time. And Sorry, I'm just laughing at riddling with this comment. Sit on the washing machine on spin dry for a trill.
Well, the one thing we are as a group, or as people, or even as friends, is that we're quite patient, aren't we? And I mean, we've sat through hours and hours of other people talking, so we can do that, and we understand that people need to talk.
Yeah, we all have our own story, don't we? And you know, whether it's flat Earth or just, you know, our life story, what's made us who we are today. You know, we all want to share it. Whether people can be bothered listening is a different matter, but we all want to tell our story, and we have to. You know, well, we don't have to, but it's nice to give people a chance to do that without slagging people off or being horrible or disrespectful. You know, we need to let these people, because if we don't listen, we're not being listened to by the government, NASA, all these big agencies, all these things. At least if we can listen to each other, it's a start.
Yeah, and we need to come together and stop all this bickering and talking about people and having pathetic hangouts about other people. It's ridiculous. It's stupid. It's just another layer of this sort of like narcissism stuff which goes on, where everybody thinks that they're better than everyone else. I mean, we've sat, you know, as a group, we've sat here and listened. I mean, sometimes it's made our toes curl with the information that we're being told on air, off air. We're open to it all. We have to remain open. None of us know everything for sure. And while we don't, we cannot do these things to other people. That's what I think anyway.
Yeah, I was just going to say about the why I call, you know, the trills. You see, this is what I do. I get the trolls and the shills. It's just another form of division, and this is why we need to forget about these people. Just let them get on with it. You know, if they want to talk about other people or whatever it is they do, just let them get on with it. Does it really matter? We need to focus on what's important, and that's coming together as human beings with a love for each other, that they care about each other. You know, it's mind-boggling sometimes. You just we always know there's always going to be an opposite. Once you realise there's an opposite, you've just got to turn a blind eye to the opposites and just focus on what you need to do.
Yeah, exactly. We need to ignore this. I consider it a distraction. Ignore the distraction. It's all ego, isn't it? You know, and leave the egos at the door, because this is the Sun and Moon group. Thank you very much.
Yeah, Marilyn's put it. The egos have landed in some. The thing is, I always thought that once you wake up to flat Earth, considering even if you don't know nothing and you're learning it as you go, you learn. We're high frequency beings. We're spiritual beings. You know, and the globe life has taken nearly all that away, where you don't care, you don't talk, it's all about egos, and the most important thing is money. I mean, money's always going to be important. I'm sorry, we live in a world with money, but they've made it more important than the people. People are worth nothing anymore, but money is. And the way that we've been indoctrined and taught, we need to get away from that and come together as a people. It's the only way we're going to beat them. And, you know, if you're new to flat Earth and you come here and you start watching some of these channels who are slagging everybody off, what are these people going to see? No one's going to be interested, or are they, in us? Because they're just going to think, well, what's all this? This is just full of masses of drama.
Yeah, but and also, what's the point? There is no point, you know. And the whole thing is just like, it's derogatory, and it's, you know, it's condescending, and it's tacky, and yeah, it's precocious, isn't it? It's like just rubbish. It's not necessary.
I mean, the one thing we know is we live on a flat plane, right? And there are some things that you can say, because obviously people are doing laser tests. There's the line of eyesight, which is 360 degrees, which is only so many miles. There are certain things, but the rest, we can't prove it yet. So what are we arguing about? I know better than you. No one does. Sorry. So we're left with the people coming together.
Yeah, I don't know about you or anybody else, but to me, flat Earth, that is the last thing. You know, like I've done all the conspiracies, I've gone through them all, and in a way, there's nothing really new. You know, in my eyes, I'm not saying I'm not saying that there won't be in the future, but at the minute, flat Earth is the last thing that I'm ever gonna do, and I just think it's about time that we just got away from you know, I can't stress it enough. You just strip everything away and think about people as people with the faults, you know, just come together. You know, is it not about time that we put the differences aside and we just, oh,
It's frustrating, isn't it? Because you, me, and Astral for sure, and some of the other people in the past, we've sat here for hours together, hours and hours and hours, talking, learning. And for us, thank goodness, we're really good friends, aren't we? We talk to each other all the time. We talk to each other all day long.
Yeah.
And then we come on the hangouts together. We've got patience with each other. We probably annoy each other a little bit sometimes. But we know what the goal is, isn't it? And the goal is about coming together and going forward.
Well, that's it, you know, and this is the good thing about the Sun Moon Group, having so many different guests on there, and we're all, you know, helping with a piece of the puzzle. And it's, you know, it's like it's vast information that, you know, we can get from these people and from these subject matter that they're talking about. And from that, it's helping us grow as individuals, you know, and not only as individuals, but as a collective as well. On top of that, you know, because when we grow as a unity as well.
Well, I think it's really nice that some of these guests we have trust us.
Yeah, for sure.
Trust us as a group.
We've nothing to hide.
No, the only agenda we've got is hopefully to bring as best as possible as many people together. We have guests on here and we have our chat room, our lovely chat room who listen in. So as best as possible. That's why a lot of the people in the chat room have wrenches. Those that come back constantly get a wrench, and we're trying to do this together.
Yeah, hello to all in the chat room this evening.
That's the nice thing about Astral. Astral doesn't live on his ego, and that's a really nice thing with a man around us. Isn't it, Astral? Astral's lovely, aren't you, Astral?
Oh, thank you. You're lovely too, and you too, Patricia.
Patricia's lovely. Patricia's, every now and again, I'll have something I'm upset about. Patricia usually gets it.
yeah, well, you see, I mean, I could just sit here, you know, when you ring me up and stuff, and I could go, oh, Karen, shut up, will you? You're doing me head in. But, and even though maybe I never really think about it like that, I could say that if I wanted to, but I don't, because I respect you. You have your own feelings. You know, I might not agree with them, but you know, this is why we just need to forget about. You know, some people pick, you know, like the colour of your hair. They'll have a go at you for that, or not you personally, but you know, or you know, you don't walk a certain way, or you don't do this. You're like, oh, does it really matter? Oh, honestly, it does. It does annoy me.
What I don't understand is if you don't like people, don't watch them.
Exactly. If you don't like a channel that you're looking at, why troll it? And why say, this is a crock of shit, this is a crock of shit, you know, whatever, I mean, you know what they write. If you don't like the channel, then just go and find a channel that you do like, you know, or find something else you would rather look at. It's as simple as that. I wouldn't bother wasting my time looking at a channel that I thought was shit and end up trolling it, you know, just because it was crap. I would just go somewhere else and find something more interesting. That's the problem. These trolls are obviously, you know, other than trolls, they're something else.
I mean, that's it. We have a choice, don't we? We can surround ourselves with love, you know. And I'm not saying there isn't bad things in the world, but sorry, I shouldn't say world, should I? But
Yeah,
I
you're
can't
allowed
help
to say
myself.
world. It's still a world.
Well, it means whirling, doesn't it? Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's a word. I can't help myself. You know, I'm
The earth.
saturated with all these words and stuff. But I forgot what I'm saying now. We all know there's negative things in this world. Sorry, I just slapped my wrist.
On this earth.
No,
you say what you want, Patricia. You say what you want, girl. You say what you want. We allow everything.
Thank you. Yeah. Just fill yourself with happy things, positive things, things that make you feel good. We're so made to feel that we're worthless and everything, and you know.
I don't understand why these other people want to continue it. Attacking people, saying lies about them. I mean, I've had it done to me. Utter lies. I felt like leaving. I didn't come on here to be ripped to shreds over a bunch of lies.
I know.
But, you know, what is it the saying? What doesn't kill you makes you the stronger. So, you know, that's what you have to happen. That's what happens.
Yeah, I know it's really, really hard because when you're getting it from all angles.
I mean, people don't seem to understand those that are slagging others off. We're human beings. We've got hearts and feelings ourselves.
Well, that's also another aspect we were talking about the other day, Karen, about this, you know, being a flat earther. It's kind of lonely, you know, and...
Yes, we were saying that. I went past the chat room. I mean, since I've become a flat earther, I would say I don't talk to hardly any of my friends anymore. I don't even really want to go out. Why do I want to go to a pub and some man drunk sort of slobber all over me? I'd rather be here talking with my flat earth friends.
And it's like, you know, I find that the reality out there, I mean, this reality that I'm seeing with my, you know, mind and everything, it's not the reality that they're living in, you know. So when they're talking all their shit and drivel, it's just beyond me, you know. It's like that's down at my feet kind of level, you know. I'm not listening because it's just total garbage, and it's, you know.
Especially when those channels are making money out of it all, out of the demise of other people. Plus, it's boring. It's really boring. We need to grow up, move on. We're never going to get anywhere, are we, if we carry on in the same? We've got to move on together. We've got to grow up. I don't know why Astral's muted himself. Astral.
What? I'm right here.
Muted yourself.
Yeah.
Don't you think that?
Kevin's telling you off now.
Naughty Astral. He muted himself. No, of course not.
No, it's not allowed tonight, Martin.
No, or you, Patricia. Patricia spends a lot of her time. I'm amazed at Patricia because Patricia does have a voice, as you can hear. But when other people come on, every time she wants to say something, unmute herself, it's moved on. So she sits quite quietly. You've got the patience of a saint, Patricia.
Yeah, you have.
Yeah, Saint Patricia, yeah. No, I mean, I don't really have anything much to say, to be honest. I just feel like a bit of a clown sometimes, but yeah.
Patricia, you've got masses to say.
There's plenty.
No, but I do. I just don't feel like I've got anything really important. You know, like some of these people, I'm overwhelmed with the stuff that they come out with. And I'm like, oh, wow, you know, I'm just a housewife that's had children. I've got nothing in a way to give talking wise. Do you know what I mean? And I know, you know, we all have a story, and you know, I've said that before, but it's sorry, it's distracting you typing while I'm trying to talk, Karen.
I'm sorry, the chat room. And by the way, Martin, mwah, he says, spread the love. Mwah.
Yeah.
Oh, and I want to say one man and his detector. All right there, dude. Nice to see you in the chat again. Yeah, you need to call me up.
We've had such an amazing amount of guests on the last 2 hangouts and all the rest and the whole year. Astral likes to see the chat room up. And then anyway, this makes this hangout about the chat room. So shout out for the chat room.
Yeah. No, it's just that I'm watching you typing as I'm trying to speak. Oh.
Sorry. What, and make a mistake?
No, don't ever apologise, Karen. Don't ever apologise.
So with what you need to do is with blue ink you write the word red, and with black ink you write the word yellow, you know, and so on, and then you put them on different pieces of card, and then you flick them, and then you're supposed to like either say the color that it is, or you say the word that it represents, you know, that it spells out. A little test. You can do it with children. It's fun. Tricky as well.
They talk about words. I was telling you one today, wasn't I? About if you put in I am a flat earther and you put it into Google search, all the different things that come up. And some of the ways it's translated back through the countries, it's just you're an idiot.
Yeah. Obviously, Google have been having a bit of a joke there with that particular sentence, and yeah, it's not fair. It isn't. I mean, come on, let's be serious.
Well, we need to, not worry about things like that, I suppose. But it's a bit strange when you see that Google, you know,
it's like they're mocking us, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, there's a few people. I'm sorry, I can't really ignore it. The chat room are talking about Matt the other day. Yes, well, I don't know what to say about that. He did actually change the whole, feeling on the hangout. He did. And I don't understand why he didn't understand that this was a party where he didn't need to do any presentation, nothing. This was about wishing us well and having a chat. And yeah. He wrote to me and told me I was rude. I was the rude one. So I don't really know what to say about that, because this is another reason why we're having this little chat today, because no one is better than anyone else. And a lot of us are at different places in flat earth. Some people don't want to understand all the really deep stuff, or, you know, like if you follow Santos, look at that information. It's a whole wealth of masses of information to learn. But anyway, yeah, we've done the map bit, so let's move on now.
Yeah.
Because the whole point about us is, or the whole point of why I started this channel was so that we all came together as best as possible. But I wasn't expecting the backlash from some people or the things that people would say or do. I'm a bit shocked about that. I thought everybody'd had enough of that. But I suppose you can't please everyone. Yes, Marilyn. Santos was supposed to come on Friday. He was all ready, and then suddenly he messaged me to say that he wasn't very well again and he hadn't slept and he couldn't come on. So I was a little bit disappointed. Yeah, he was one of the people that didn't come on, but hey ho. I mean, we probably would have had to have gone on for another couple of hours if we'd had Santos on anyway, because everybody just seemed to like talking, didn't they? I mean, our party ended up being a really deep flat earth discussion.
It doesn't really matter end of the day, though. I mean, it was
an amazing hangout.
Yeah.
People.
Yeah.
And yeah, thank you to everybody who came on our party and everybody that was listening in. We've somehow got to get back to caring, haven't we? I mean, that's what I like about us lot, us here on the panel. We care about each other, we help each other, we listen to each other, and we're not just sun and moon, we're friends as well. I know that you can't necessarily have that one-to-one with the chat room because I haven't met Astral or Patricia, but we spend a lot of time together, don't we? It's almost like we live together.
Yeah.
It is though, isn't it?
Yeah. Conversation we had the other day, Karen. Flipping heck.
Oh, which one was that, Patricia? Which one?
Well, I'm not going to mention it. You know, we are live.
All right then.
We had a certain conversation. Yeah, it's. all I can say is we pretty much know each other inside and out, don't we?
Yeah,
But,
we know what upsets each other, or we know what. Yeah.
And
Yeah,
people are people. Sorry.
I was just going to say we do talk a lot, especially myself and Karen, about different things and who to have on and what to do, and you know, isn't it, Karen? You know.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we've got elongated head talk and it'll be about pyramids and long barrows tomorrow. Paul on the plane. We've got activists John Smith. It's great. We're trying to bring in as much of flat Earth as we can, and the people. I thought that's what it would be about. And also, we don't control the conversations, do we? We just let people talk. Only if someone goes on and on and on and on will I interject a little bit. But the whole point was that the people are talking without someone going, you know, whatever. That's enough.
Shut up.
Shut up, yeah.
Don't you think you've said enough?
Yeah. Well, sometimes I don't even get a chance to say anything or even like anything. It just carries on and on.
Like I said, I don't have much to say anyway. I just soak it all in. And you know, you never know, I might actually remember some of it one day. You don't know.
Oh, shit.
It was really great to see Mr. Thrive and Survive as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Especially after his circumstances, you know. So yeah, and he was looking nice and peaked as well.
He looked really good, didn't he? I mean, a few weeks before he had the heart attack he was on, his cheeks were actually quite red. I mean, obviously now you know that was obviously him leading up to his heart attack.
I don't know the signs, but if you say so, Dr. Karen.
Well, I don't know. You remember seeing him, don't you? His cheeks were a little bit flushed, but he looked so good the other day.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And he's such a lovely man. I mean, I'm lucky that I stay in touch with him and talk to him quite regularly. And yeah, I just think he's a really lovely man. He's a very spiritual man, and over the months he has supported me immensely, and through all the thick and thin and all the other little things that were happening. So I'm quite amazed, you know. When I came to Flat Earth, there was a few people. There was Russian vids. There was Thrive and Survive, and well, there was Mark Sargent and probably John the Morgile. They were the ones I watched the most. And to have most of them as my friend, I'm chuffed to bits. It's amazing. And even now we've got Crow 77 coming on a bit, which is again
777.
Oh, yeah, 777. Sorry, whoops. That's amazing as well. And in fact, he's very informative. I mean, when I think about all the stuff that he was actually saying on the Hangout the other day.
Oh yeah, just listen to his radio podcast. I mean, yeah, information, every single one. I
mean, he doesn't like to call himself a flat earther, but all his information, everything he talks about, he is one, isn't he? Really, he's a silent one.
He's a tree.
He knows everything's wrong. He knows they've lied to us.
A proper researcher.
Yeah, and he's also a really nice person as well. So again,
yeah.
We've put the chat room up because obviously we've had these amazing like hangouts, but the idea was to for the chat room to be part of this. So if there's any questions and things that you'd like to ask, just put them in the chat room. And Astral, you can see the chat room, can't? Oh, look at that.
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah.
The chat room can see, and yeah, you can see it and you can answer them.
Any questions? Hey, I've got something, right? I don't know who was talking about it, but it was discussed the speed of a bullet. I think it was Crow, actually. Speed of a bullet. So anyway, the speed of a bullet from a rifle is on average between 18 to 1500 miles per second, or meters per second, sorry. Meters per second. they translate it also to feet per second. So the 0.220 Swift, which is obviously some sort of a rifle, I would imagine, fires at 1,220 meters per second. Says here the cartridge with the highest velocity. Now, how fast is that in G's? That's what I would like to know. Because a human is saying here that humans have been doing 20 G's for 10 seconds. And then someone's been doing 6 G's for 10 minutes and 10 G's for 1 minute. But more than 25 G's only for like 1.1 seconds. So
There's a point to it, isn't there, Astral?
Yeah, there is a point to it. Yeah, I would like to know how fast that rocket is traveling. I mean, if it's as fast as over 25 G's or whatever, then it's not feasibly possible for a human to survive it. I mean,
It's got to be a few max, hasn't it? Because, you know, like, the stupid spin of the Earth, 260,000 miles. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
we're traveling about 260,000 miles in 3 different directions. That's Mach 80.
Yeah,
We'd never be able to survive it. Can you imagine it? You know, there's little roundabouts. You remember roundabouts? We'd be, oh my God, we'd be flung off. I'm sorry.
Yeah. But I just want to know how many G's, 1,000. Well, how fast does the space shuttle travel? It's 1,700 miles per hour, isn't it? 1,700 miles an hour. When it's going that rocket up into the space of non-existence. 1,700. So we need to find out how many G's 1,700 miles an hour is. And if it's over 25, then it's that's one of those busted things, isn't it?
Oh, Chris UK has put something to me.
70,500. That's it. Yeah, that's the number. Yeah.
Space at the same time viewed in 2 places on the globe are terminator line of sun moves around the globe in 48 hours. Equator terminator line of the sun to travel at 1,000 miles per hour to cover 25,000 miles in 48 hours. Halfway up the equator terminator line travels at 500 miles an hour to cover 1,000. Oh my God, what's that? 12,500 miles in 48 hours, and so on. As you move up and down the spinning ball, the speed of the sun as the seen from the Earth must be 50% difference as it moves across the sky for 2 points. It's not the amount of time the sun is visible, it's the speed of the sun moves across the sky. If we're on a ball, PDFS, show it better concept and experiment to prove it. Your point, though, thank you for that, Chris. The point is, he's put a couple of documents which I'll have to look at in a bit. But your point is that if you were traveling that fast, the humans supposedly in the pathetic rockets, which aren't real, would never be able to handle the G-force, would they?
Yeah, no, that's it. I mean, I don't know how many G-forces 17,500 would represent, and it would be nice to know. I can't do it now because I'm here on a hangout, but if anyone in the chat's got time to have a look, that would be nice. How many G's is 17,500 miles an hour? And if it's over 25 G's, then they can't do it because this is like the record for a person, 1.1 second, 25 G's or something. I don't know. Maybe there's a greater record. It must be. I yield the floor, Karen.
I was just going to see if I could look it up. Keep going, Astral. I'm looking it up.
Yeah, I agree with Riddle with this. Too much maths. It's yeah. I'm just a simple person. I was never good at maths at school, so maybe the Mach 3 is only when we're actually, like someone says, can't see it now. Oh,
Oh,
back G's are only in acceleration. So
Yeah, but you're still going to feel plenty of G's, aren't you? It's like when you're on. I've been on like fairground rides at Alton Towers, for example, and one was called Superman, and it just like shot you off, and it went and accelerated, you know, kind of exponentially, kind of thing, you know. And it's whoa, yeah, that was awesome. Imagine it's got to be like that. It has to be some sort of it's an exponential growth or an exponential velocity rate anyway to get up to that speed to get into into space. Obviously, you know, it has to break through at a certain rate, doesn't it?
I looked it up. There is a converter on there, apart from wading past the stuff that was talking about the globe. And it says something like, let me just add up how many that is. That is 16,671 centimeters per second squared, 166 meters per second. It just goes on like that. I mean, we just wouldn't be able to cope with that. I'm sorry, we wouldn't. None of it.
Maybe it's just a simple fact there's no astronauts in the rocket when it goes up.
But there isn't, because I've watched quite a few of those rockets taking off, and at some point they explode, and then this white ball comes out, and then they're going, and there's the space, whatever it is, the shuttle going off, and it is never a shuttle. And anybody that was in that rocket would be dead. And has anybody watched those rockets take off and go off? The thing is glowing red. How it doesn't just disintegrate as it goes up anyway.
Imagine sat in that little capsule, right? And how many days were they, you know, flying through?
Astral, they would pass out.
Yeah, imagine sat in that little capsule for days on end. I mean, no way, man. I mean, no way. You know what it's like going for a 3-hour car drive with your kids? It's a nightmare, isn't it? You know, and this is probably even worse because they're sat in those suits, red hot. They must be boiling. Obviously, they've got to be boiling. Oh, cramped in, sweaty, stiff, stifling. What if they're farting?
Can I tell you something? When I went to the Space Centre, where Martin Leakey, there was Nathan Oakley, there was me, there was Alan, there was Dee as well. They had some of these little, well, I suppose they were mock ones, but they were the shuttles. They look the size of a little aeroplane's cockpit. And there's just a piece of metal and glass. That's it. How could that protect them? It's impossible.
Yeah, I mean, when you analyze it, it is impossible because I mean the seals on the windows and you know just simple things like that. I mean, I'm talking simple things. It ain't that simple. I mean, this is complex. It has to be, you know, a good seal, doesn't it? And the ISS, all these seals that are on there, and they don't change them out. They're just, oh yeah, they're fine. They last forever. They last forever. They're a joke. People just need to use common sense, basic common sense, you know, look at it for what it is. What is it? It's a piece of junk. It's a piece of metal. It's aluminium and glass and plastic and rubber, and it's got billions of wires everywhere that you would never do a job like that. No electrician on earth would do a job like that, would they? I mean, it's what? You're going to trip over them. You're going to snag them. You'll break them. Believe me. I know when you see wires like that, when I'm out on sites and things, you're going to kick them and they'll end up getting snapped and what have you. It's inevitable. So that's up there for years. I'm not buying it. Sorry. No.
I think probably what we should do is we should stick some of these politicians in the thing. They'd probably lie about that anyway, wouldn't they?
Yeah, well, they all need training, don't they? They need to have, you know, common sense, or they have to be able to talk bullshit when they get back down again. Oh, yeah, it was awesome. You could see the blue marble.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, like let's be practicals, but imagine your stomach on a roller coaster. I know, and that's the other thing I find really amazing, that no one really talks about the fact that the Earth is spinning at different speeds at the equator, which is what Chris UK was talking about, and to how, like, the speed we're supposed to be traveling. So we're traveling probably at least half the speed of America, you know, the middle, like the equator. And no one ever talks about, you know, you never hear the captain on a plane go, hang on a minute, we're just gaining speed by 600 miles an hour. Hold on, everybody. It would be the worst roller coaster ride of your life.
It's because globists, they have the atmosphere stuck to the ball. They have it stuck to it, don't they? And how does that work when you've got the Gulf Stream and everything, you know? And when we used to be able to see that null school map, you know, the map from the polar projection, the North Polar projection, there you could see the Gulf Stream and the winds perfectly swirling around nicely.
John's put because it isn't. And just very quickly, it's for Patricia. Patricia, Leah says coffee, tea, scones, biscuits, cakes.
Oh yeah, scones would be nice. I want some scones.
What, scones and, or do you like cream and jam? Or you're not into that, Astral?
No, just scones. Maybe a bit of jam on a bit of scones. Yeah, that would be good. I've not had scones for years, I tell you. For time, I haven't had them for time. Yeah, I might bake some one day. I like the raisins and sultanas in there. A bit of fruit.
Heavy scones for me.
They've got to be heavy as well, like, you know.
Rock buns for me. Rock buns. Anybody remember rock buns? They just got currants in them.
Yeah.
I used to make them over and over and over for my kids.
Carrot cake too. That's good.
I used to make a lot of coconut cake when my kids were little. It's the only thing that I really knew how to make. Well, no, it weren't. I used to make pies and things like that.
But you mean flapjacks because they're easy and tasty. All sweet.
Never really.
Coconut cake were good. I used to make them as a kid. We used to make Rice Krispie cakes too. I remember, covered in chocolate. Yeah, it was like every Wednesday we had home economics, you know. This is going back. I was young, like 5 or 6, man. Yeah, coming home with
Cool. I
cakes.
bet we didn't know as children that everything would turn out the way it has, though, with what we're living in and everything.
No.
The innocent days, well, that's when we were allowed to be innocent. But if you notice, they don't even want children to be innocent. They want them to be adults at the age of about 6 or 7 nowadays, with mobile phones, makeup.
Yeah, this agenda, it's just getting forced upon us and our children. Like, you know, it's going at such a rapid rate now. You can just see it. I mean, like you say, kids are getting phones. I mean, bloody hell, the kids are getting phones. They cost more than my first car and my second car. It's
Yeah, but that's just
incredible.
showing our age, isn't it? Unfortunately, in our day, isn't that what your parents used to say? And you think, oh, sharp, it's my day.
When I was a kid, we got an orange for Christmas, and we were happy for it. You know, great. Give me an orange. I'll be happy for that one as well.
I know what to send you now.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, well,
I don't celebrate Christmas.
but in a sense, we're only big kids. We're just big kids. We have an inner child.
Well, we are children. And also, I think we're still children learning here. And I think this flat earth is only the beginning of something enormous. I really do. I think this is just a tiny thing.
Yeah, the thing I try and explain to people. I went into a garage today and I found myself talking away to someone there, and they were looking at me and going, yes, yes. But it's the fact that flat earth covers all the lies. History, politics, everything. NASA.
Yeah. But it seems like we're learning more about when it became a lie, you know, and it seems that it's around about maybe the 1900s that it's, you know, kind of it's been, you know, all right, we're suppressing the flat Earth now. Now it's globe, you know, because yeah, it just seems to be the way that it's pointing. You know, with looking at history books, pictures, old pictures that Martin's found. You know, Martin Liedtke, and it's just
Yeah,
what the general consensus is. You know, when you look at it.
Leah, you're making me hungry. She's been putting things in there.
Jaffa cakes. Oh yeah, I used to eat them before I played football. Give you energy. Good for that.
How did you eat your Jaffa cake, Astral? Was it just in one mouthful, or did you bite
One
it
go.
to bits?
No, just one go.
Jelly bit.
Two bites, it's gone.
Yeah, I bite round the edge and then.
I still do that. I just go and then I eat the jelly bit.
Yeah, some people peel off the jelly bit, don't they?
I do. I bite the chocolate off, and then I eat the jelly bit, and then I eat the sponge.
You're a child. You are a child.
Oh, thank you.
Back to that bit about being a child. If your child inside is not sorted and is raging with itself, then you need to know who you are as a person to go forward in this. If you don't know who you are, you're never going to trust anything, and you're never going to believe anything you're told. So you have to work out who you are. And I mean, before I came to Flat Earth, my thing was psychology and this inner child. And it's not just you've got an inner child. Quite often inside you, you've got a parent and an adult. So your child is you as your child and how you were and how you reacted. And the parent in you is your parents. And there's thousands of hours of parental tapes running around your head. So you've got to sort your out. This book I've got is called I'm Okay, You're Okay. And in it, the question is, if someone comes knocking on the door of life, which one of you is going to answer? Your child, your parent, or your adult? And the first two react. The third one thinks. The adult thinks. But again, we're learning every day. I mean, the amount of stuff that we've learned as a group or listened to in the last year, as I say, turns your toes up. Yeah. So, Patricia, you wanted to talk a little bit about this psychology side of things, didn't you? Or have you already sort of done it, really?
I think we've already done it. I mean, there is a lot to say about still being a child, where we don't we see things a lot simpler. You know, we should see things a bit simpler and ask questions. I remember one of my sons, we were stood at the bus stop and he said, "Mum, why is the sky blue?" And I says, "Oh, I don't know, love, why?" He goes, "Well, why is the grass green?" And I was getting quite annoyed not because he was asking questions so much, but because I didn't know the answers. You know, like, I don't know why the sky's blue and all this lot. And I says, "I've got a question for you." And he said, "What?" And I said, "Why do you keep asking so many questions?" And then the woman at the bus stop said, "Well, if he doesn't ask questions, he's never going to know." And I thought, yeah, it's right, but I was only joking, like, you know. But yeah, there's a lot of things we still need to know about, and I don't know how important that is. It depends on the individual, I suppose. But I'm slightly waffling here. But yeah, there's a lot for psychology. If you have to look into yourself. No one else. Not about psychology. Isn't for, you know, Luke Marshall in the chat room or thingy, you know, from someone else. It's something you have to find within. Riddle me this: why is the sky blue? Go ask your mum. Yeah, it's something we have to learn ourselves. We have to, if we want to, of course. You know, we need to, like you said, we need to learn about ourselves first. Yeah,
we need to learn about ourselves and know who we are first, because you're never going to get anywhere unless you know that. It is just so true. But a lot of people don't know who they are. don't even know why they think the things they do. Someone will come along and then it makes them react, and they'll go, oh, look what you made me do. But it isn't. 9 times out of 10, it's your problem.
Yeah, exactly. And then that goes into responsibility. If you react what they call knee-jerk reactions, it's your problem. It's not. Well, it is partly their problem for doing it in the first place. But like I said earlier, you can't walk on eggshells in the, worrying that you're going to upset someone. But if you just bring it down to a basic thing, if I wanted to be treated like dog poo, then I treat other people like dog poo. It's karma,
Well,
as you
there
say.
is a saying, isn't there, Patricia? You treat people as you wish to be treated, or what you give out comes back.
Yeah. People call it karma. It's just, well, it is. I mean, if you don't want to be treated with disrespect, then you won't disrespect other people, will you? Just simple. I won't say a right, but it's who we are. And once you realise that, if I want nice things, I'm going to have to give nice things. That or don't have to, because I've always been a nice person.
It is true what you say. It's karma. It's that duality again, because what you give out, you get back again. I mean, and I don't care if people disbelieve it. I truly believe in it. It's karma. What you give out, you get back. And it's as simple as that. The universe listens to us.
I love the chat room, but I'm so glad that you found me, or I found you, Patricia, in Astral. I'm really glad that you're here on my journey.
Thank you.
What do you say to that? It's likewise, isn't it? We're all on a journey together. Where we're going to,
yeah,
is
exactly
a
where
thing,
we're going. Hop on board the
but
magic bus.
enjoying the journey.
Flat Earth Dude's come in the chat room. Hello, Flat Earth Dude. He's
Hello,
also
Flat
a
Earth Dude.
very lovely man, Flat Earth Dude.
Nice to see you, sir.
And a good support for our group as well. So he's amazing. And I think he's going to a meet on Friday. And even though we will be talking to Paul on the plane, first of all, later on in the evening, I think that we're going to be with Flat Earth Dude while he's at this meeting. He'll put it in the chat room when he hears this.
Yeah, that could be fun.
Yeah, well, we just follow his camera and he just takes us around.
You know that before you was talking about being childish, Karen, and I think I promote being childish. It's to a degree anyway. All right. I mean, we have to be adults, of course we do, but being childish is important because it keeps us young at heart, and it keeps us, I don't know, it keeps us in tune with something. And I like looking at my kids, and I like looking at other little kids, when they're playing, and they've got this like so much freedom, and they just don't care, and they've no care in the world. They're just playing, and it's nice to see. And I think we are missing that kind of that freedom and that like childishness, and we need to see something within us again that's childish. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying like from being silly and everything and watching cartoons all day long. But, being a little bit, a little bit childish anyway, sometimes, because it helps us. I yield the floor.
Sorry, I'm messing around with the, I touched something on the panel. Sorry about that. I forget that everybody in the chat room can see what I'm doing.
Yeah. Go on, subscribe to a channel. It's fine. Go on, we'll let you. Yeah, we're just going to say, Astral, you were saying about being a child, and somebody just mentioned a sense of childlike awe at the beauty of nature, and that's, we going back to what you say, we are all children, but we've just been bogged down with responsibilities, you know, we've got to do this, we've got to conform to this, we've got to do that, and we need to strip that away and go. I mean, I want to run through a field. I mean, I can hardly walk, so I don't know when I'm ever going to do that. But I mean, I've been into a wood thing, and I've screamed and got rid of all these emotions and stuff. But like, we need to. I don't, like Aspel says, we don't need to like sit and watch cartoons all day and stuff like that. But like, joy in the journey, see everything through new eyes. You know, all right, some things aren't very nice, but we have a choice whether we, you know, follow that path, or we go for the love and find the good things. Because there is a lot of good things. No matter what we've been told, there is a lot of good things. I've noticed TV, because I still watch TV, but I see it differently now. And I remember years ago, they used to have like good stories as well as, you know, bad stories. And they don't do them now. Occasionally, you know, someone's who's been in the news media or whatever, and they've recovered from cancer or something like that. But they don't go around. I mean, even from last year, you know, there used to be this woman and this bloke that used to go around. Bloke used to dress as a bee, and he'd go around and do stuff. You don't hear anything like that. So we have to go to the streets, and we have to celebrate the fact that, you know, people still do these things. They just don't get noticed as much. They get ignored because they don't want to.
I think we probably have to be a slightly more grown-up children, if you know what I mean, because we're not 5 years of age anymore. But you've got to keep something childlike about it. That's the bit that goes, oh, look, the sun is shining. Oh, look, vibrations up. Most of it's been snapped out of you, hasn't it? I mean, look at children in photographs when they're 5 or 6, they go, rah, and they pull a face and it's all happy. And as people get older and older, their pictures, their head starts going down and they start almost looking at the floor for a photograph.
Well, just having belief in things, you know, a while back, remember we talked about earthing, you know, grounding. I saw this documentary and I was like, wow, I thought that's awesome. I looked into it. And the more I looked into it, I thought, yeah, I'm going to do it. So I started doing it, you know, and you've got to earth yourself, you know. And I go out every day and I'm barefoot on the grass every single day, you know. It is vital for us. And I think it makes you feel good, you know. I mean, you don't need to hardly sleep. You feel you've got.
That's because we don't, energy. Isn't it, Astral? Being a flat earther and in research or on this panel, we don't get much sleep, do we?
No, we don't. We do not. No sleep till Brooklyn.
But I think you're right in a sense. You know, they tell you you're supposed to get so many hours sleep. Well, I'd say I was an eBayer, so I was up really late because I don't know, by the time they finished, I'd want to pack all my items. And then I one day went delete because I got fed up of all that with all the rules and regs and the amount of money they were taking off me. But I was already used to being up late. But you know, I can't tell you the amount of dawns I've seen coming in. Oh, dearie me. But yeah, I can't even sleep in anymore. You get you get naps.
It's like there's too much information out there to find. You know, that's how I feel. It's like uncovering another stone. Another piece of the puzzle, and there's so many aspects, you know. Not Robert Kidner, John. No. Foster. Brian. Sorry, Brian Foster. Yeah, his research that he's doing with the buildings, the megaliths, and the skulls as well. I mean, wow, it's just there's so many things that we don't know about, you know. that's being uncovered and still being suppressed. It's just interesting to well, for us to find out, and that we could spread the news, you know, and spread the word that there are things out there that we don't know about, that we're finding out about, you know, and it's, the world isn't as it seems. So yeah, I love it.
It is a bit of a shock, though. I mean, I'm sort of getting over it now, even if I didn't sort of go like mad publicly about it. But I am really shocked that everything in our life is a lie. There's not much of it that's the truth, and that everybody's lying, the scientists, everything. It's just all one big fat lie. I mean, I'd like those people with the big telescopes, you know, the big, I want the auditorial one. I want them to go to prison as well. They need to go for lying, knowing, pretending that those stars are light years away when they know that they can zoom right into them with those great big telescopes and they know they're only miles away. But it is really strange, isn't it? This sort of, I could only put it that it's like the emperor's clothing, you know, like,
yeah.
Trying to say, oh, look at my magnificent clothes, he wasn't wearing them. Then someone said they were too frightened to say anything, and then one goes, look, he's wearing nothing, and then everybody went, yeah, he's wearing nothing.
Yeah, exactly. Something like that's going to be apparent, you know. We're all going to be like, what? Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Freeman's put, not everything sun and moon, only 99% of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it you can see why we mistrust each other, can't you? If we can't get any, propaganda, Chris. If we can't rely on any of the information that we're told, it's pretty damn bad, isn't it?
Yeah.
I almost can't believe that it's not just by accident that they turned us into a ball or anything like that. It's the complete lie. We don't even know who the pyramid people are. We don't even know our history. And like Martin Leakey's changed my mind so much. I mean, the other day when we had him on, he's reckoning that a lot of these really old churches, they're not churches, they're machines. And you're like, oh my goodness, it just gets worse. And I do agree with him. I mean, he was showing us pictures and drawings, supposedly, that were done hundreds of years ago with these great big buildings. And then all the roads are all like got dirt on them. There's no road. It's just a dirt track. They wouldn't have dirt tracks with these great big buildings, would they? And then how do they build all these buildings?
Yeah.
Just so much of a lie. They've lied about the trees, what the trees are. And I mean, I didn't realise, you know, myself quite, you know, Flat Fred taught me that. He taught me a lot about the fact that trees are electric, just not quite, I can't spell. They're just not plug-in electric, but they're electric. But you said something to me, didn't you, Astral?
About?
Well, you can get ampage off a tree.
Well, trees do give off electricity. Yeah, they do. They give off like a big aura. Some people can see them, actually. I can't. But sometimes you can actually feel it, especially when it's raining, you know. You can feel like the kind of, you know, static. It's like drawing static upon you. You must know what I mean.
Yeah, it hit me, you know, like those Mandelbrocks and that, when they, you know, they do the electric and they create. I hadn't realised that that's what trees are without leaves on. When you have a look, they're it's the whole the same thing. They're definitely electric. And the thing is that Flat Fred taught me that they're trying to destroy the trees and everything because the trees have a resonance, a frequency, and they need, you know, even ivy. Okay, ivy can be a good thing. You know, it, you know, like ivy feeds animals, there's things, but that stuff, they don't care that it's killing the trees. They don't care. They just don't care. They just don't want us knowing the truth. I think that's the saddest bit, is all this information where we think that we're so advanced, all this crap, and we don't know nothing.
No. But it is a fractal universe, and we have to also lay claim to it. All these numbers that we see everywhere, you know, the distance apparently to the moon, and you know, the angle of the tilt of the Earth, and all these numbers are so apparent and so relevant, and they crop up time and time and time again. You know, they're all constants, but then they're belonging to Fibonacci as well. You know, and it's just an interesting thing that all these numbers are, you know, within our universe, within the plants, within the form of leaves, the way that a pine cone spirals upwards, you know. And yeah, it's too many things we don't know about.
Yeah, it's a shame that NASA's wasting all that money lying to us, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
Imagine what we could do with that money.
Imagine what we could do if we was unhindered, if we were allowed to do whatever research we so wished to do. I mean, that would include launching rockets, going to Antarctica, the North Pole, wherever.
Rockets, we'd have found something else by now if they want to keep us on rockets.
If we were unhindered, I'm telling you, I mean, we would not be living like we're living now anyway, that's for sure.
No, we'd be wanting to help each other more. We'd be doing things together. We'd be doing things I mean, that's the sad bit about Mr. Fry having his heart attack, because he really wants to get people for people.life going. But unfortunately, at the moment, it still needs a lot of plugins, you know, like for hangouts, for chats. And yeah, and his is an uncensored site. So everybody in the chat room, join up to people for people.life, although it isn't moving greatly at the moment. But it will. It's already started. And hopefully we'll get to talk to him about that when he comes on a week Friday.
Yeah.
It's quite a lot putting a website together.
Yeah, and obviously it's been a bit of a, you know, well, he's not been in the best of health, has he, of late. So also that to take into consideration. But he was saying that he was having difficulties with plugins and things. So I'm pretty sure that within time it'll be, you know, running smoothly. We can only hope. So yeah.
Well, like I said, when he comes on a week Friday, we will ask him about people for people, because you and me are admin on there, but we haven't touched it, have we? Because we're just not sure what he really wants from us. When you go there, there's just so much stuff, and it says add plugin, add this, because they're not on there yet.
Yeah, the only thing I've done is allowed some comments, posts.
Well, it started, hasn't it? And it will be built on. It's just going to take a little bit longer. I'm not sure if he I don't know. I think he's done a did, but it just takes rather a lot. And obviously he's been a bit sidetracked at the moment. I felt so bad that day. I messaged him like, Rich, we haven't heard from you. Where are you? I'm worried, you know, because like he's not someone that's ever been quiet for me. He always replies to me. And then suddenly I get this message, and I thought, I'm going shopping first. And then I came back and I looked at his message and I couldn't believe it. The poor man had this heart attack and was lying in hospital waiting for his procedure to happen. And then I thought, oh my goodness. Because, you know, I was thinking, I had to write immediately, are you all right? Is the procedure, is it done? But again, you know, he thinks that they nearly tried to kill him, didn't they? They were trying to give him medication when he didn't need it. Like, it was supposed to be once every 12 hours, and they were trying to give him 2 lots. I mean, it could have killed him. It could have given him a stroke.
Yeah, yeah. They are incompetent sometimes. They really are. I've seen it firsthand myself, you know. But they must be stressed. Give them that.
Yeah, I've just posted the link for the people for people.live.
Well, thanks, Patricia.
Oh, well, sorry to hear about that, you, but we're trying to remain together. And that's another channel. all this nastiness. I just wish it would stop. I don't. If we have to have clear hearts. I mean, you know, how many of you say you love people all the time? And I don't mean stupidly. I mean, I can go, I love you, Astral. I love you, Patricia. I love our chat room. How many people could even say those words?
I can.
Yeah.
Go on then. Go on then.
I love you, Patricia. I love you, Karen. I love you guys in the chat room. Love you all. Love all you flat earthers. You mean so much.
Yeah, I love you, Karen. I love you, Astral. I love everyone in the chat room. And not just I love you, but I care about you.
I know, you're a very sensitive person, Patricia, and a very sensitive person, Astral. That's what you've got to remember, is to remain sensitive. Sensitive to yourself, sensitive to others.
I think just stay grounded. That's I think that's the key. Stay grounded, down to Mother Earth. You know, it's all about that, isn't it? You know, we're living on Earth in some sort of toroidal field, as to say. So I think if we stay in touch, in contact with the Earth, you know, we're going to stay grounded. Simple as that. And it does help. I know it does. Look at people that have never had the shoes off. They're just bitter acid bastards, you know. They are.
This lady told me something once. She said she knew how angry people were in their lives because people start moaning and groaning and about the weather. And there's probably, I know maybe you can't change the outcome to one of them if you're dying, but death and the weather are the two things you can't change. Everything else you can change because it's a matter in your mind, isn't it? It's say that's how she said she knew people were angry in their lives, because those that get angry about the weather, you can just hear it in their voices. But
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, carry on, Patricia.
We tend to deflect it, don't we? It's, you know, I can get upset one day and I could say things like, oh, I'm fed up of that being over there, and I can focus on that. But what I really want to say is my life, dog poo. But I don't want to say that because it just brings it more real. So we do tend to deflect how we're really feeling. And, you know, we have a go at people that we love when really we're probably trying to have a go at ourselves.
Yeah.
You know, they say it's easier to blame other people for your problems. But when you realise that I'm the only one that's responsible for my problems, no one else, and I don't have a go at someone else because they're having problems, I can relate to it. You know, I can understand that, you know, somebody might talk a lot, and I mean a real lot, and you go, well, it's probably because they're lonely. And I want to be that person that will be there for someone, not just say I love you, because that, you know, it's easy to say it. It's like somebody said in the chat, it's about doing stuff. And if I can listen to someone and just let them get it off the chest for a start, I mean, I can't really do much else. We all have to come to our own conclusions, you know, and sort our own problems out in a way. But to have that shoulder to cry on sort of thing, you know,
I think that's the bit, isn't it? That no one wants to be responsible for themselves, and you're only responsible for yourself and your own actions.
Yeah,
You're not responsible for anybody else.
exactly.
I think that's also what brings us together, because we don't like to be alone, and most of us are alone. You know, I'm in a relationship, but it's not a success. You know, it's not very successful at the moment. You know, because of the way that I am. You know, and I'm aware that I'm a flat earther, and this is not acceptable. You know, to the other half. So I'm in a shit spot at the moment, right? But we as flat earthers, we are very segregated, you know, and I think that's why platforms like this, where we can get together and we can sit and talk, people in the chat there can ask questions and fire away, and you know, and chat with each other, because many know each other. We all know each other for sure. And I think that's why we hang out on these hangouts, because we have this, you know, we can't really just go out talking to people. Hey, I'm a flat earther, you know, because, you know, I mean, I've been totally ostracized by it. Family, I mean, they just, yeah, oh yeah,
They think you're crazy, don't they, Astral?
yeah, they do, yeah. Well,
But if it's any consolation, half my family thinks I'm crazy. I tried to talk to my parents about it the other day. I know we're living on a cabal and I'm not listening. And I
yeah,
think I've got nothing in common with my parents. Nothing. Nothing. I must admit, though, one of my jobs, I won't say it, I'm going in tomorrow, but I was trying, she said that she'd done whatever it was at college and she knew this. And I was trying to explain it to her. And I said, go on, Pat, then how can you explain that the water, she was saying, stop it, Karen. She was going, stop it, because she knew I was telling the truth. But it sort of ruins this life for them. But nothing, in a sense, has changed. We're still living on the flat plane. We always were. Just everything we're living in is a lie to play the game, the globe life, the money life. But anyway, we've got people like Aaron, who's doing the Project Lumen, and he's not around at the moment because he's promoting, and he's been doing stuff on the television. There's Netflix, there's all sorts of things he's been doing. But he'll be on soon. And I did put a little video about his, because he's got his Bitcoin out, hasn't he?
yeah,
I'm not saying that if he could have chosen another way of doing it, he would have done, but you're left with what you've got today. But I mean, if anybody has ever been on a hangout with Aaron as he goes into his program, it's an amazing program.
yeah, he's good at building the computer, the software for it all, that's for sure.
Yeah, you put in the chat room just a minute ago, don't trust anyone. But I mean, in a sense, we're left with that, but it's quite sad, isn't it? As a statement, 2018, don't trust anyone. Unless we start trusting each other, we're never going to get anywhere, are we? But obviously, don't trust politicians and those kind of people, because they're lying to us.
Sure.
Unless we start to learn to start trusting each other again, then we're not going to get anywhere, are we? I mean, that's what we live on, isn't it? Is trust with each other, you, me, and Patricia.
Yep. We do.
I was just going to say something then. I forgot what it was.
Patricia. We don't have this horrible agenda with each other, do we? We just want to get on. We know that the picture is bigger. And that's another reason why we can sit quite quietly on the hangouts, because we talk so much. And then when the people come on, we'll let them talk.
Time to listen.
Oh, that were it. People will only be nice to you, most people, some people, if they feel they're getting something back from it. Well, I'm nice to people and I don't want anything back. I don't expect anything back. I just want to be nice. And I want to love people. Make them, because when I used to be a member of a organised religion, we used to go to other places, you know, different towns and stuff, and go to church and blah, blah, blah. And in the car there, I'd be shouting out the window, I love you. Only because, I mean, I felt embarrassed when they'd finally catch up to the traffic lights and we were there, and I sort of bobbed my head because I didn't want them to actually know who it was. Not because I was scared of it, but I thought to myself, you know, me saying that, all right, they might laugh, but that might stop them. They might be thinking of suicide, or they might be having a really bad day. And to hear that, even if it makes them smile or go, stupid idiot, it's taken them away from what they was thinking. They might not have been thinking anything, but who am I to say what they were thinking? You know, but that's how I am. You know, if I can make someone happy just for a split second, then I'll do it. It's just who I am. And I know that sounds a bit soft, but we need to be like that. It doesn't matter with the thing about.
It's not being soft, Patricia. That's being you. That's just being you, you know. And you have empathy, of course, you know. If
You know, that one thing, that one little thing that I give could stop someone, like I say, from killing themselves. And if I can do that, then my life isn't a waste of time.
Well, you've been an inspiration for me, Patricia.
I think for many people.
I wouldn't know what I'd do without you, Patricia. Patricia, I'm sorry, Patricia. No.
She doesn't like that.
Without you.
She doesn't like that. We're not
Yeah, she's
supposed to
got
do that
bored
anymore.
Oh dear.
That was meant in the nicest possible way, just that one time, because I have.
I know. I don't mind, honestly. You know, it's better to have something like that and a catchphrase than, you know, to be ignored. No one wants to be ignored. It doesn't matter what we've got to say. We just don't want to be ignored. We don't want to be lied to. You know, we want to be happy. Doing what we want, you know, within reason. We don't want to go around killing people or hurting people, not intentionally.
That's why we're called Family United.
Yeah.
And please don't think that we haven't had to go through some struggles in our group, because we have. But all it's done is made us stronger.
Yeah, definitely.
And if these other people think they know better, carry on.
You don't have to have these negative people in your life. You know, just let them get on with what they're doing. You know, you don't have to have them in your life. You don't have to have them on a hangout. You don't have to, you know, entertain them in any way. It doesn't mean that you hate them. Just let them go on it. Because the worst thing you can do to yourself is carry on the pain or the anguish or whatever it is, because it's only affecting you. It's not affecting them. They go on merrily on the way. And until they take responsibility and say, look, you know, apologise in some way, you know, what they've done. You know, I know you can't always do that, but, you know, a lot of problems are caused by other people. And you have to come to a point where you go, right, that, you know.
The flat earth thing, that people were going to wake up and are fed up to the teeth of this not caring society, community. I thought people wanted it to be a different way now, a more spiritual, we're high frequency, I mean, you know, like we were on hangouts. We can feel things even through the hangout. We can feel people's tensions, upset. We can feel it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's none of our fault, the lies. We've woken up in the middle of the lies.
Yeah, it is a shame, like you say, but it's just carry on regardless, you know. We need to just focus on what we're doing, you know, and carry on regardless. Make sure that we can keep spreading the message that the earth is flat and that people need to research it. We need to have more researchers, you know what I mean? All right, I'm aware the earth is flat, it's stationary. That's where I'm at. I'm more spiritual in a sense of other things, you know, and why we've been lied to. That's my little train of my avenue where I'm going down. But
yeah, the only sad thing is that there's just so many resistant people who want to keep the globe.
Yeah, exactly. It's hard, isn't it? Trying to convert people. But slowly, I'm sure that more and more people are becoming more aware that the Earth is, in fact, flat.
I love it when people say, well, what does it matter what shape the Earth is? You know,
I
it's
hate
not
that
going to
one.
change.
Yeah,
It's not going to change my life. Well, it will change your life.
I don't
But,
love it.
you know, I was being sarcastic when I said I love it. You know? It's like, do you want to be lighter for the rest of your life?
It's
You
just
know,
I find it ignorant that, you know, when they say, what does it matter? It doesn't matter to me. That is
What does it
just,
mean to
that
me?
is ignorance.
Yeah.
It is, you know, and that could really, it just aggravates me because of course it matters. It's the biggest lie I've ever been told, you know, and people are coining in all this money, taxpayers paying for something that's not necessary.
So what do you think
Conned.
it is about why some of us have woken up and the others haven't?
I don't know. Some can see and some cannot.
Because once you wake up, once you go flat, you can never ever go back.
that's a really strange thing. You know, it's like, you know, we've been fed a lie. And it's a basic lie, isn't it? It's like the basics of where we live. What exactly is it? No one really questions it. They might have it in the brain, but they don't question it. They just accept it. And I mean, I
I
don't
think
think
we have a basic right to know where we live. Because once, you know, a flat earth life is a completely different to a spinning ball, globe, money orientated, egotistical life. That's a completely different life.
That's it. People just need to be aware of, well, I would say three basic things. One, the moon landings didn't happen on the moon like they say they did. That was all filmed and shit. Two, ISS is not up in space doing what it's supposed to be doing. That's something filmed in the studio, also CGI'd. And three, go back to one and two. And people get aware of that, you know, and then they'll see that they've been lied to. Then they'll probably understand, okay, there is obviously more foundation to the fact that the flat earthers have got something to talk about now, because once you've taken NASA out of the equation, because we know it's shit, hey, who knows what the shape of the earth is? Only the people that have been up high enough to see it, you know, and that ain't many, is it?
Well, one thing that Crow said to us, didn't he, that the people are kept busy so that they don't think. And it's thinking that gets you here. But they don't want you thinking. They don't want you feeling. They don't want all these things. They keep you busy. Bills, debt, just the fact that you've got to work longer, less money. Television. I used to love the television. Not anymore.
Yeah, can I just say something? You were saying, Astral, about the moon landing. My mum, before she passed away, she said to me, I was talking about it, you know, just in general chit chat as you do. And she says, yeah, I mean, bearing in mind she was in her late 70s. And she says, yeah, I always thought it was filmed in a studio.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm thinking, well, my sister or anybody in my family won't talk to her about things like that, you know. So it was just weird. I thought, oh, well, if my mum thinks it was filmed in a studio, because I mean, obviously she watched it live and she didn't believe it.
Yeah, my dad saw it too. He's passed away now, God rest his soul, but he didn't believe it either. And he said he was watching it on TV, but he didn't believe it, even though he was watching it. He said it didn't make sense, you know. I remember that. Yeah, so he would have been a flat earther for sure. Yeah.
I think though that what it is because in the research through this group, it seems that the 1960s, it's only the 1960s that they turned us into a ball. But that means our parents' generation is the most indoctrinated generation ever. That's why it's really nice to have John Carey on, isn't he? Because he's the same age as my parents. And even if there's a few things that maybe he hasn't looked into, like he still believes in space, but that's because he's not looked into it. He's been doing pyramids and other stuff. So, he'll say those things. He's a more elderly gentleman who's woken up.
Yeah.
And I mean, for some people, they can't do everything. I mean, we're on a research group. Not everybody's in a research group.
No, it is nice to have, and I did say to him that time that it's nice to have a senior citizen, that's wide awake. And he is wide awake, that guy, in many respects. So it's always a pleasure to have, people of his stature come onto the Sun and Moon group. It's nice.
Yeah, he's on tomorrow with Marie Wheatley.
Yeah.
Brilliant. I mean, I'm looking forward to that as well, aren't you? Because that's talking about these elongated skulls. They're here in the UK.
Yeah. It's historic, because it's suppressed knowledge. Not a lot of people know, but these elongated skulls, they've been tested, DNA tested, and they are a subhuman species. So they're not of Homo sapien species. There are some other species. Yeah. So it's interesting, and yeah, we don't know about it, do we?
The only annoying thing is, we can't work out whether, these things happened 100, well, maybe a bit more than that, whether it's 500, 600, 7. I mean, any of our history, we don't know any of it properly, do we? I mean, they can put things into, well, this happened centuries ago, but, Martin Leakey's pretty sure that we had electricity basically since the pyramids. And you think, what? If all that's, that's the thing. I mean, listening to some people, even Brian Forrester, puts things down to thousands of years or whatever, but none of us can be sure anymore, can we, about how long ago things are? I think that's a bit weird, to be honest. But the whole point is so that we don't know who we are and don't know where we've come from. And yeah, that's the whole point, isn't it?
Yeah.
We've been going for an hour and 3/4. Today we've come on just to obviously talk about the epic party we had on Friday, plus, well, all of the Sun and Moon has been amazing.
Just have a chin wag, yeah. Little, what do you call it? A recollection or whatever. Reminiscence.
We'll probably go for another 10, 15 minutes and then we'll probably end this hangout because, again, we've got a busy week. We've got, obviously, tomorrow afternoon, as I said, we've got Marie Wheatley talking about the elongated skulls and the long barrows, and she'll probably talk about the pyramid, the Silbury Hill. And then on Thursday, we've got John Smith, Global Light, and Roxanne. And then on Friday, we've got Paul on the plane. And then after that, I'm going to hook up with Flat Earth Dude because he's going to this meetup. And then obviously he'll have his camera on and we'll be watching through his camera at the meet. So that'll be good. So there should be 2 hangouts on Friday. And then a week today, we've got Crow, 777 and Ditra. And then a week tomorrow, we've got Paul White, and he's the Healing Hands person from Spain. So he's going to give us some more stuff about healing hands. And then a week Friday, we've got Mr. Thrive and Survive. So we've got quite a few guests there, and I'm already really happy. Because I did wonder where we went after Friday with all those people on. Where did we go after that?
Yeah, got some good things, good people coming on to look forward to.
And I'm going to go on holiday shortly, a week or two.
Yeah, Astral. Week after, well, 2-3 weeks, aren't you?
Yeah.
I'm going on a holiday on Friday till Monday, so it'll only be Friday. I won't be able to be on any hangouts.
Not going anywhere yet. Actually, I am due to go and see. Malk comes in the chat room sometimes. He's a friend. I've known him since 1991. At the moment, he's up in Scotland. He's moved up there, and he's very happy because he's in a small community, and it's happening there how he wants it, with the community. But I'm hopefully going to go and stay with him a few days in Scotland. But it might be that I go in September because a friend of mine's band from here is playing up there in a festival, which you'll be going to. So, yeah, I might make it September so I can see my friends who only live down the road up there. But, yeah, that'll be good. But I'm not going for a while you two are going off on holidays. Astral's off to Cyprus, aren't you? Is it Cyprus?
Oh, no, Crete.
Crete,
yeah. I can see the Knossos. Yeah, could be fun.
You said that you'll try and send me a little upload so that I can put them out, or we can show them on Sun and Moon.
Yeah, I'll see what I can do, yeah. See what I can do.
You want me to do that with mine? I mean, I'm going somewhere really, really exotic. Going to Skegness for the weekend.
Skeggy.
I mean, yeah. How more exotic can you get?
I don't know. I've never been actually, but many people I know have. It's like Blackpool for the Northerners.
I mean,
I don't know why. I don't know why Chilster's put in the chat room war it is, Karen. I've been talking about peace all night. Also, someone put in there about Brian Forrester. It's gone now. There it is, Chris. Brian Forrester. He'll be back on Sun and Moon to talk. I'm hoping that maybe he's at a conference, isn't he? But I'm hoping that maybe we can hook up with him, even if it's for 10-20 minutes tomorrow, because obviously his friend is Marie Wheatley. Yeah. And he's going to go and stay with her. As I said earlier on, Brian Forrester is coming over to the UK in September. He's staying with Marie Wheatley, and he's going to go to Silbury Hill. And I would obviously I love Silbury Hill. I'd like to go there. I'd like to meet him. And I think John Carey's going to come. So that's brilliant for later on in the year. I still find it incredible that I say to people, do you know what Silbury Hill is? And they go, well, a mound of earth. And you go, no, it's a pyramid. And they look at you and they go, what? It's a pyramid. Most people around here have no idea it's a pyramid. Because I'm going to Scotland. Scotland's lovely.
Those rolling hills, definitely. The drive up to Scotland from England, it's just incredible. Yeah, those, like canyons and it's incredible. Just winding roads and kind of scary as well at times.
Just to tell everybody as well, me and Malk did quite a lot of research last year and the year before, and we do pan-arounds, and he'd be filming, I'd be filming, the way that we saw the star, everything. We're both pretty sure that the UK is lying on its side. It's not straight up like on the map. I'm not saying it's 45 degrees lying on its side, but it's lying on its side more than they're saying. Both of us together. Oh, where is he in Scotland? Of course, he's told me. Let me just tell you the area. Let me just go to my map. Where are we? Here we go. He's over in... Ooh. He might be Loch Mora. He's definitely in the Highlands, left-hand side. I forget what it's called now. It's at Stafford Island.
Left-hand side.
He's not that far from Stafford Island,
I'm in the
but to
west.
get he's got to go on 3 boat trips, he said. Well, I was going to go in May, but Malk unfortunately hurt his knee. He was trying to save the wood and he ripped the cartilage in his knee. And the hospital were telling him that he'd have to have a new kneecap, the whole thing, which means he'd always be struggling probably. But he says that he is actually getting better. So that's really good news for him. But it stopped me going up to Scotland. I was just about to book my ticket when he did that. But again, it looked like he would have to go and have operations and that. So I'm hoping he's going to get better. I might go before that. I might not be able to wait. I might have to go away. But I don't think I'm going to get a very good reception up there. But I'll only be away for, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 days, something like that. Oh, Brandon's in the chat room. Yeah. We've been going for 2 hours practically now. Today wasn't going to be a long one, guys, because we're really tired. I'm not over my stay up talk with Russian Vids till 8, 9 o'clock in the morning. And Russian Vids is such a lovely man, such a lovely man.
Yeah, you said we've been going for 2 hours, and due to the Coriolis effect, that counts for 4 hours. So yeah, it's time for us to say good night, probably.
Yeah, as I say, we're back tomorrow afternoon, everybody. We're back tomorrow with Marie Wheatley in the afternoon, about 2 o'clock. We're having an earlier hangout tomorrow and talking about elongated skulls, long barrows, hopefully pyramids, history, the history that she's seen. And yeah, so thank you, everybody in the chat room, for listening to our, what would we call it? Tea and Biscuits break.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
And thank you, Astral and Patricia.
Thank you as well, Karen and Patricia.
Okay, so we're back tomorrow afternoon. Thank you, everybody that's listened in. And I shall just stop presenting. Yeah, there you go. The chat room's been up there all night. So, do you want to say goodbye, guys?
Goodbye, guys. Thanks for coming.
Yes, good night, everyone, or good afternoon, wherever you are. Hope the rest of your day or night is trouble-free and that you think happy, positive thoughts. And I love you all. Love you, Karen. Love you, Astral.
Oh, we love you, Patricia and Astral. And we love our chat room. Yeah, it's good morning, good afternoon, good evening. You have to cover yourself here because somebody's always in a different time zone to you. But we'll see you tomorrow afternoon, guys, if you're around. And big flat earth hugs to everybody.
Yeah, big hugs.
See you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.